Top of the newscast is the Open Deco VO in A, VO in B, going out to camera 2 on a 2, Eddie and Rachel in the Weather Center. Stand by, here we go. 3, 2, 1, roll it.
KOB Eyewitness News 4 at noon.
We're hearing from the wife of a New Mexico deputy who died in a car crash while responding to a call.
That's me, Marissa Bluestein, directing the news from that dark room. In television news production, the work is fast-paced, deadline-oriented, and always changing. It's also a reactive profession.
And the doghead fire in the Manzano Mountains is now 90% contained, but still no consolation to the families who came back to nothing but rubble from the nearly 18,000-acre fire.
Our top story tonight is a horrific one.
Police say a 10-year-old girl was killed, and they found her body early this morning. We're told that girl just turned 10, just yesterday, in fact.
Right now, an Albuquerque police officer is in critical condition, fighting for every breath he takes after being shot multiple times.
Not a proactive one. I'm restricted to only being able to react to stories happening in my community instead of being able to have a more active role, and I'm motivated to change that. New Mexico has a high poverty rate and a diverse socioeconomic population. I want to make a difference and contribute more to my community by educating both kids and adults about how, like them, the environment is diverse and ever-changing.
Is next. Stand by break. 3, 2, 1. Take the break.
Outside of working at the news, I volunteer at the New Mexico Museum of Natural History and Science and the Albuquerque Biopark. I spend the rest of my free time taking photographs and being outside. I educate visitors at the Museum of Natural History about New Mexico's ecosystems and what kind of plant and wildlife inhabit them. At the Biopark, I operate an interactive invertebrate touch pull exhibit. I educate children and adults about marine life and conservation while giving them the opportunity to physically touch the animals. I've worked with children who have never set foot in the museum or biopark before, that don't know how climate change affects New Mexico or have never been to the Sandia Mountains. Some New Mexican children are more concerned with where their next meal is coming from rather than the environment. I want to show people how much the environment affects their lives and how much they affect the environment. And I believe that attending the North Cascades Institute and using their immersive learning approach is where I can get the skills to achieve my goal. Volunteering to provide environmental education has given me the skills and experience to know I want to continue learning and educating people. I believe environmental advocates carry their responsibility to reach out to the community, not only by educating others, but by also inspiring others to become active in their community. For example, because I am an Hispanic woman, I can demonstrate to many of the underrepresented minorities visiting the museum and biopark that it is possible to positively impact their own environment and educate others. The ability to speak and write conversational Spanish has been incredibly helpful in bridging the communication barrier when educating a class of children whose first language is not English. Also, being a minority, I want to be a role model to children to show them that coming from modest means, they can get the education they need to accomplish their goals in the world. I believe my experience of working and living in a culturally diverse population brings a unique perspective to environmental education. My communication and photography background further provides an alternative method to experience, teach, and learn from nature. Photography is one of my passions, and I believe using it as a teaching tool can provide people a deeper connection with nature and their community. Images have the power to motivate people to get out of the house, to take the family camping in the Jemez Mountains, to hop in the car and drive to the Sandia Mountains and hike, to learn about New Mexico's many Native American sites like Bandelier National Monument and the Gila Cliff Dwellings, stargaze at some of the darkest places in the state, explore the Valles Caldera supervolcano, visit the rare white gypsum sand dunes of White Sands National Monument, and go backpacking and climb Mount Wheeler, the highest point in New Mexico at 13,064 feet. Photography has an emotional impact on people and is one of the ways I communicate with my community. Using these skills can promote the North Cascades Institute through social media such as Instagram and Facebook, which is the most widely accessed form of communication, and in doing so, can expose and interest more people to the field of environmental education. My experiences volunteering as an environmental educator in an underrepresented minority environment, coupled with my communication background and passion for photography, can positively contribute to the diversity of environmental education and the North Cascades Institute. The outdoors have shown me that I am committed to pursuing outdoor education, and being part of the North Cascades Institute can better prepare me to be a successful environmental educator. I started my journey in the high desert of New Mexico, and by continuing my journey to the water-rich North Cascades in order to accomplish my goal of becoming an environmental educator, there's no telling where the endpoint may be.